Have you ever experienced coincidences so meaningful that they seem to defy all logic? Perhaps you think of someone, and suddenly that person calls you. Or maybe you come across a message at the exact moment you needed it most. These experiences, known as synchronicities, were deeply explored by the renowned psychologist Carl Jung, who described them as a bridge between our inner world and external events. In this video, we'll delve into how to recognize the signs the universe might be sending you and what they could mean in your life. If you've ever felt that something greater is guiding you, now is the time to open your eyes and mind to these mysterious connections. Get ready to uncover the signs that could be changing your destiny. The universe's language is subtle and does not reveal itself at every moment. It often hides in small details, a phrase you hear repeatedly, an animal you encounter several times, or even a seemingly insignificant mistake that leads to an important discovery. These events are like puzzle pieces that only fit together when you view the bigger picture. Jung believed that the universe communicates through archetypes, universal patterns that appear across cultures and eras. For instance, the archetype of the hero's journey might manifest in your life as a series of challenges pushing you to transform. Moreover, this universal language is not limited to the external world. It also emerges from within you through your dreams, intuitions, and emotions. Jung emphasized the importance of paying attention to how something makes you feel. If an apparently trivial event gives you chills or a deep sense of connection, it likely contains a message worth exploring. This universal language transcends time and space. It can be retroactive, revealing the meaning of an event years after it occurred, or it might manifest as a premonition you don't fully understand yet. The challenge is to keep an open mind and trust that, even if you don't immediately grasp the message, the universe is working in your favor. Jung described this connection as a bridge between the conscious mind and the collective unconscious, an invisible network that unites all that exists. Recognizing this language is the first step in uncovering the signs the universe is sending you. Synchronicity is one of Carl Jung's most enigmatic and fascinating concepts. Unlike a random coincidence with no deeper meaning, synchronicity occurs when two or more events coincide in a way that is significant but lacks an apparent causal connection. For example, you might be deeply passionate about an idea and suddenly come across a book or meet a person who provides exactly the information you need to move forward. These experiences are like winks from the universe, reminders that there is an order beyond what we can see or measure. Jung observed that synchronicity tends to occur when we are emotionally receptive or facing a significant dilemma. In his studies, he noted that people often experience such coincidences during moments of transition or personal transformation. For instance, someone contemplating a career change might unexpectedly find a job opportunity just as they're considering resigning from their current role. These events are not just motivating. They act as signs that you are aligned with the natural flow of the universe. What makes synchronicity so intriguing is that it cannot be forced or planned. Unlike the goals we consciously pursue, synchronicities appear spontaneously and often catch us by surprise. Jung described these experiences as meaningful causal connections, reflecting his belief that subjective meaning gives them their power. The physical relationship between the events is irrelevant. What matters is how you interpret them and their impact on your life. Jung also highlighted that synchronicities often involve a symbolic element. For example, a recurring dream about water might coincide with a period of introspection and emotional cleansing in your life. If you later encounter water-related signs in your environment, such as unexpected images or conversations, these could echo your internal process. This suggests that synchronicity not only connects the inner and outer worlds, but also reveals the unique rhythm of your personal evolution. For Jung, synchronicity was evidence that the universe operates on a deeper level than we usually perceive. This phenomenon invites us to reconsider the idea that everything happens by chance and to explore how our lives are interwoven with the fabric of the cosmos. Beyond logic, synchronicity reminds us that we are part of something greater, a web of meaning that guides and inspires us if we are willing to listen. Synchronicities do not occur randomly. Carl Jung discovered that these meaningful coincidences often manifest more frequently during moments of crisis or personal transformation. When we go through periods of inner chaos, the unconscious seems to open up and begin influencing how we perceive the external world. It's as if the universe responds to the call of our intense emotions, sending signals that guide us toward resolution or understanding. This phenomenon is common during major transitions, such as a career change, the end of a relationship, the grieving of a loved one, or even an existential crisis. Why does this happen? Jung believed that crises disrupt the balance between the conscious mind and the unconscious, allowing the latter to communicate through symbols and synchronized events. For example, someone going through a divorce might start noticing repetitive patterns in their dreams or encounter people who have faced similar experiences. These events are not merely coincidental, they represent an external reflection of internal conflicts that need attention. One of the most intriguing aspects of synchronicities during crises is that they seem to act as directional signs. Imagine someone suddenly loses their job. They might feel anxious and desperate, but soon come across a job advertisement perfectly aligned with their skills. While this event may appear random, it can be interpreted as the universe responding to their immediate need. The signals may not always be as direct, but their underlying purpose is the same: to provide guidance and restore emotional balance. Jung also observed that synchronicities during personal crises often carry archetypal symbolism. In his studies, he found that patients frequently reported dreams or events involving water, fire, or specific animals. For instance, dreaming of fire might symbolize a process of purification, while an unexpected encounter with a bird could represent hope or freedom. These symbols serve as keys to interpreting the message behind the synchronicity. The signs not only appear in the immediate environment, but also manifest through others. Jung recounted cases where patients encountered people who seemed to appear at just the right moment. These human connections, though unexpected, often offered solutions, comfort, or new perspectives that transformed the crisis into an opportunity for growth. For example, a woman who had unexpectedly lost her mother met a stranger who shared his own experience with grief, helping her find solace. In practical terms, Jung encouraged people to pay attention to coincidences that occur during critical moments. Rather than ignoring or dismissing them as mere chance, he suggested reflecting on what meaning they might hold for the life of the person experiencing them. This involves adopting an attitude of openness and curiosity, allowing intuition to guide the process of interpretation. Ultimately, synchronicities during times of crisis serve as reminders that difficulties are not insurmountable obstacles, but part of a broader cycle of growth and transformation. Jung believed these events not only connect us to our unconscious, but also anchor us in the universal flow, reminding us that even in chaos, there is an underlying order. Recognizing and accepting these signs during such moments can transform one's perception of suffering, turning it into a catalyst for self-discovery and personal evolution. One day, while working with a patient who resisted opening up emotionally, Carl Jung experienced what would become one of the most iconic examples of synchronicity. This highly rational woman shared a dream in which a golden scarab appeared as a symbol. During their session, as Jung tried to explain the importance of paying attention to emotions, he heard a light tapping at the window. When he opened it, a green-gold beetle, closely resembling the dream's scarab, flew into the room and landed on the table. This unexpected event was enough to break the patient's intellectual barriers, allowing her to advance in her therapeutic process. What makes this case so fascinating is not just the coincidence itself, but the emotional and psychological context in which it occurred. The patient was stuck, trapped in her need to rationalize everything. The scarab, both in her dream and in reality, acted as a bridge between her conscious mind and unconscious, forcing her to confront what she had been avoiding. This example illustrates how synchronicities can open seemingly closed pathways, helping us overcome internal resistance. Jung interpreted the scarab as a symbol of transformation and rebirth, connected to ancient Egyptian myths where the scarab represented immortality. The fact that this symbol appeared simultaneously in the patient's dream and reality reinforced its significance. For Jung, this event was not mere chance, it was a clear message from the collective unconscious. The golden scarab case also raises intriguing questions about the nature of synchronicities. What causes them? Is it our mind creating these coincidences, or are they the result of a universal order we do not fully understand? While Jung did not offer definitive answers, He suggested that synchronicities provide evidence that reality is more interconnected than it seems. Moreover, this case highlights the importance of mindfulness. Jung could have ignored the tapping at the window, dismissing it as insignificant. However, his willingness to observe and connect internal and external events allowed him to recognize synchronicity in action. The impact of the golden scarab was twofold. It helped the patient overcome an emotional block and reinforced Jung's theory about the connection between the unconscious and the external world. This example remains a reminder that synchronicities not only enrich our understanding of life, but also have the power to profoundly transform our everyday experiences. Carl Jung was a pioneer in conceptualizing the collective unconscious, a deep layer of the psyche that does not belong to the individual, but is shared by all humanity. This level of the unconscious houses what Jung called archetypes, universal patterns that manifest in myths, religions, legends, and of course, our daily lives. According to Jung, synchronicities originate in this collective unconscious, connecting us to a universal network of meaning that transcends the boundaries of time, space, and culture. The collective unconscious differs from the personal unconscious, which consists of an individual's repressed or forgotten memories and experiences. While the personal unconscious is unique to each person, the collective unconscious is universal, acting as a repository of ancient wisdom accumulated throughout human history. For example, figures like the hero, the mother, or the sage are archetypes that emerge from the collective unconscious and appear in stories across all cultures. But these archetypes are not only present in tales or films, they also manifest in our lives through dreams, symbols, and synchronized events. When we experience synchronicity, we are connecting with this collective dimension of the psyche. Jung observed that these events often resonate deeply because they activate specific archetypes aligned with our current circumstances. For instance, if you are facing a significant challenge, you might dream of a hero confronting dragons, and shortly afterward, you might encounter a quote or hear a song that reinforces the idea of courage and perseverance. This interplay between the internal and external worlds, mediated by archetypes, is one way the collective unconscious influences our daily lives. An interesting aspect of the collective unconscious is that it operates symbolically. While the conscious mind seeks logic and clarity, the collective unconscious communicates through images and metaphors. This explains why synchronicities often have a dreamlike or surreal quality. Imagine you are searching for answers about your life's purpose, and you suddenly come across graffiti on a wall that says, "Look within yourself." This message, though seemingly random, can be interpreted as an external reflection of an archetype in action, in this case, the hero's journey or the quest for meaning. Additionally, the collective unconscious is not limited by the boundaries of individual experience. This means it can manifest through events or symbols that have no direct origin in your personal biography, but still resonate deeply. For example, someone with no background in mythology might dream of a specific mythological symbol and then encounter it in a book or conversation, discovering its relevance to their current challenges. Jung also suggested that the collective unconscious not only influences individuals, but also shapes groups and societies. During collective crises such as wars or pandemics, certain archetypes may be activated in the collective consciousness, guiding the actions and emotions of large populations. For example, the archetype of rebirth might manifest as a collective desire for reconstruction and renewal after a period of destruction or loss. Ultimately, recognizing the role of the collective unconscious in synchronicities invites us to adopt a broader perspective on our existence. Instead of seeing ourselves as isolated individuals, Jung encourages us to understand ourselves as part of a greater whole, a network of connections that transcends our immediate understanding. By paying attention to synchronicities and the archetypes accompanying them, we can not only find meaning in our experiences, but also align ourselves with the deeper currents of life that connect us to the rest of humanity. Dreams are one of the most powerful tools the unconscious uses to communicate with us. For Carl Jung, dreams were not mere random fragments of our psyche, but meaningful messages that could help us resolve internal conflicts, uncover hidden truths, and discover our purpose in life. Moreover, Jung observed that dreams often act as a prelude to synchronicities, anticipating external events that reflect our inner struggles or deepest hopes. Dreams are often filled with symbolism, and their interpretation requires a different approach from conscious logic. A dream does not directly tell us what to do, but presents images that, when deciphered, can offer guidance. For instance, someone dreaming of a snake might interpret this symbol as a sign of transformation or renewal, as snakes often represent the ability to shed skin and be reborn in many cultures. If this dream coincides with a period of change in the person's life, it could be considered a synchronicity, a connection between the internal world and the external events taking place. Jung also noted that dreams often contain messages our conscious mind is reluctant to face. This is because the unconscious has access to aspects of ourselves that we have repressed or ignored. For example, someone avoiding a difficult conversation might dream of a volcano about to erupt, symbolizing pent-up tension and the need to release suppressed emotions. If the next day this person encounters an unexpected opportunity to address the issue, it could be interpreted as a synchronicity reinforcing the dream's message. A fascinating aspect of dreams is that they reflect not only our individual psyche, but also the collective unconscious. Jung documented cases where archetypal symbols appeared in his patients' dreams, even when they had no prior knowledge of their cultural or mythological meanings. For example, a patient might dream of a mandala without ever having heard of it. This symbol, representing wholeness and order, can emerge spontaneously as a way of balancing a fragmented psyche. Additionally, dreams can act as a mirror, reflecting the state of our connection to the universe. When we are aligned with our purpose or following the right path, our dreams tend to be clearer and more positive. Conversely, when we are out of balance or ignoring important aspects of our lives, dreams can become confusing or disturbing, signaling that something needs correction. Jung believed that keeping a dream journal and reflecting on dreams was essential for understanding not only our synchronicities, but also the journey of self-discovery. By connecting the symbols in our dreams with events in our daily lives, we can begin to see patterns and messages that help us navigate our experiences with greater clarity and purpose. In this sense, dreams are not merely a nocturnal escape, but a compass guiding us toward a fuller and more meaningful life. For Carl Jung, the mandala was much more than a geometric figure or artistic design. It was a symbol deeply rooted in the collective unconscious, representing wholeness, integration, and inner balance. Jung became interested in mandalas after observing that they appeared spontaneously in his patients' drawings during psychological healing processes. These images were not merely visual representations, but reflections of the journey toward individuation, the process of becoming a fully authentic and integrated self. The mandala appears in diverse cultures and spiritual traditions, from Hindu yantras to Native American ceremonial circles. Its circular form, with a defined center and elements symmetrically arranged around it, symbolizes the quest for unity between the conscious self and the unconscious. In therapeutic contexts, Jung observed that patients drew mandalas during times of internal crisis, as if their psyche was seeking a means of finding stability and emotional reorganization. One key aspect of the mandala is its ability to connect the inner world with the external one. Jung believed that working with mandalas, whether by creating them or meditating on them, helped individuals focus and establish a deeper bond with their unconscious. This is not only useful during moments of emotional imbalance, but also as a regular practice to strengthen one's relationship with the self. For example, someone feeling scattered or lost might use the mandala as a tool to reflect on their life, mapping out the elements surrounding them and visualizing how everything connects to a common center. The mandala is not only a personal reflection, but also a universal symbol of order in a chaotic world. Mandalas remind us that there is an inherent design in all things, a structure that guides us even when we cannot perceive it. Jung related this idea to synchronicities, suggesting that the meaningful events we experience in life are like pieces of a cosmic mandala, where everything has its place and purpose. Additionally, the mandala can serve as a reminder of our connection to something greater. In many spiritual traditions, mandalas are used as gateways to the divine. Jung believed that by working with these symbols, individuals could reconnect with their spiritual dimension, experiencing a sense of transcendence and belonging to a greater whole. This is especially important in a modern world that often disconnects us from our spiritual roots. From a therapeutic perspective, mandalas can also serve as a diagnostic tool. Jung observed that the way a mandala is drawn or interpreted can provide insight into a person's psychological state, revealing areas of imbalance or fragmentation. Jung studied how the colors, shapes, and patterns people chose in their mandalas reflected their emotional and psychological state. For example, a mandala with dark colors and chaotic lines could indicate anxiety or inner conflict, while one with bright colors and harmonious forms might reflect balance and clarity. This analysis not only provides insight into a person's current state, but can also help guide them toward a more complete integration of their psyche. Ultimately, the mandala is an invitation to introspection and self-knowledge. Though it may appear to be a simple drawing or design, working with a mandala involves a profound process of reflection. What does the center represent to you? What elements surround it, and how are they connected? These seemingly simple questions can open the door to a deeper understanding of who you are and where you are headed. Thus, the mandala is not just a static symbol, but a dynamic tool for exploring your path toward balance and wholeness. The relationship between synchronicity and spirituality is one of the most fascinating aspects of Carl Jung's work. For him, synchronicities were not mere coincidences. They were gateways to the transcendent, signs connecting us to a dimension beyond the physical and tangible. These synchronized events are often interpreted as divine messages, evidence that the visible and invisible are deeply intertwined. This connection resonates with the idea that our lives are not merely material, but imbued with spiritual purpose. In many spiritual traditions, synchronized events are considered divine interventions. For instance, in Hinduism and Buddhism, meaningful coincidences are seen as expressions of karma or dharma, guiding a person toward their destiny. Jung did not necessarily align with any specific religious system, but acknowledged the spiritual significance of synchronicities. For him, they were signs that we were in harmony with the universal flow, and that our actions and thoughts were aligned with a higher order. A key aspect of the connection between synchronicity and spirituality is the sense of wonder these experiences generate. Synchronicities often occur when we are seeking answers or facing uncertainty, acting as reminders that we are not alone. This feeling of connection can lead us to explore deeper questions about the purpose of our existence and our relationship with the divine. For example, someone experiencing a loss might find comfort in a synchronicity that seems to symbolize the continuity of life beyond the earthly plane. Jung also believed synchronicities were a form of communication between the collective unconscious and our conscious mind. In spiritual terms, this can be interpreted as a dialogue between our soul and the universe. These experiences invite us to pay attention not only to what happens in the external world, but also to what occurs within us. When synchronicities coincide with moments of introspection or meditation, they can be seen as confirmations that we are on the right path. Moreover, synchronicities have the power to transform our perception of time and space. By breaking the linear logic of cause and effect, they remind us that the universe operates on a level of interconnectedness beyond our understanding. This shift in perspective is not only liberating, but can also open us to deeper experiences of gratitude and humility, recognizing that we are part of a greater whole. Ultimately, Jung saw synchronicities as a tool for spiritual evolution. It is not just about interpreting these experiences, but acting on them. If a synchronicity guides you in a new direction or encourages you to take a risk, it is an opportunity for growth and expanding your awareness. These meaningful coincidences invite us to trust the process of life, to recognize that even the smallest events have purpose, and to embrace the mystery of the divine manifesting in every corner of our existence. The universe constantly sends us messages, but we do not always know how to interpret them. Carl Jung believed the first step to recognizing synchronicities is to pay attention to the meaningful coincidences around us. These signals are not random events. They are laden with meaning and often resonate deeply with our emotions or current circumstances. However, discerning a true synchronicity from a simple coincidence requires a combination of introspection, conscious observation, and openness to the unknown. To start, it is important to develop a receptive mindset. We live in a world full of distractions, and our attention is often fragmented across multiple tasks. When we are too busy, it is easy to overlook the small details that might hold greater significance. Jung suggested that to capture these signals, we must cultivate a deeper connection with ourselves and our surroundings. This might involve practices such as meditation, keeping a journal, or simply taking a few moments each day to reflect in silence. A key aspect of recognizing the universe's signals is observing patterns. Synchronicities tend to manifest repetitively, such as a number that appears consistently, a phrase heard in different contexts, or a symbol seen in a dream and later in waking life. For example, if you repeatedly encounter the number 1111 on clocks, receipts, or license plates, this could be interpreted as a call to pay attention to your mental or emotional state in those moments. Jung did not view these patterns as trivial coincidences, but as gateways to deeper meaning connecting our inner and outer worlds. Additionally, emotional resonance is an essential guide for distinguishing genuine signals. When something deeply moves you or makes you feel that something larger is at play, it is likely you are experiencing a synchronicity. For instance, running into an old friend you have not seen in years just after thinking of them might seem like a simple coincidence. But if this meeting happens at a pivotal moment in your life and leads to a conversation that shifts your perspective or decisions, it transforms from chance into a meaningful message. A practical tool for capturing these signals is keeping a synchronicity journal. Writing down events that feel unusual or symbolic can help you identify patterns over time. This habit also fosters reflection, allowing you to explore the emotions or thoughts present when the coincidences occurred. For instance, you might notice that synchronicities are more frequent during periods of uncertainty or transformation, suggesting they are linked to your internal process of change. Another crucial factor is learning to listen to your intuition. Jung emphasized that the unconscious often uses visceral sensations to convey what cannot be expressed in words. If something gives you chills or a sense of inexplicable certainty, it is likely touching a profound aspect of your psyche. Ignoring these impulses can lead to missing valuable messages, while following them can open you to new possibilities and discoveries. However, it is important to avoid the trap of searching for synchronicities in everything. Jung cautioned that obsessively seeking meaning in every event can distort our perception and lead to misinterpreting coincidences. The key lies in balancing conscious awareness with an attitude of acceptance and trust. Authentic signs reveal themselves spontaneously, not through deliberate effort, and often coincide with moments when we are emotionally receptive. Ultimately, recognizing the universe's signs involves acting on them. A synchronicity that does not inspire change, a decision, or deeper reflection loses its purpose. If you notice a pattern, symbol, or significant coincidence, ask yourself, what is this telling me? How can I integrate it into my life? This approach not only helps you understand the signs, but also allows you to use them as tools for personal and spiritual growth. For Carl Jung, individuation is the central process of life, a journey toward integrating all aspects of our psyche, both conscious and unconscious. It is the path to discovering who we truly are, beyond social masks, conditioning, and external expectations. Synchronicities play a crucial role in this process, acting as signs along the way that help align our lives with our true selves. The journey toward individuation is neither linear nor easy. It requires facing our shadows, those parts of ourselves we would rather ignore or repress. Yet Jung believed that integrating these shadows was essential to achieving wholeness. Synchronicities often serve as guides in this process, revealing hidden aspects of our personality or showing us the way when we feel lost. For example, you might experience a series of coincidences that lead you to explore a talent or interest you had dismissed, but that is actually a fundamental part of who you are. One of Jung's most evocative metaphors for individuation is that of the hero embarking on a transformative journey. This archetypal adventure, present in myths and legends across cultures, symbolizes the universal struggle of facing the unknown, overcoming challenges, and emerging transformed. In this journey, synchronicities serve as guiding stars, illuminating the path and affirming that we are aligned with our purpose. Individuation, however, is not merely a personal endeavor. It carries profound collective implications. Jung believed that by striving for inner wholeness, we contribute to the harmony of the collective psyche. This idea holds particular resonance in a world often characterized by division and disconnection. By recognizing synchronicities and embracing them as catalysts for growth, we not only advance our own development, but also enhance the intricate web of interconnectedness that binds humanity together. This journey toward individuation is also deeply spiritual. For Jung, it was a way of connecting with the transcendent and acknowledging that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. Synchronicities, as reflections of this interconnectedness, remind us that personal growth unfolds in tandem with a living, purposeful universe. Individuation is not a destination, but an evolving process that spans a lifetime. Synchronicities, as markers along this ongoing path, invite us to continuously explore who we are and who we are becoming. By recognizing and responding to these meaningful coincidences, we can transform each one into a stepping stone toward greater self-realization and fulfillment.